Welcome to a brand new episode of the Jampack Report today for June the 24th of 2020. Of course, my name is Samuel Adams, and this is a daily gaming news podcast meant to bring you the hottest news you need to know from around the industry. Hosted on YouTube and podcast services around the world 5 days a week, it is your one-stop shop for everything you need to know. So if you enjoy the show and you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and keep coming back for more. But first and foremost, it looks like Halo Infinite has gotten a bit of a teaser ahead of its full reveal next month. The official Halo Twitter account just revealed a short tease for Halo Infinite, an intercepted audio transmission that teases one of the enemy factions. It seems the Banished are very mad about humanity this time around, and they are looking for control of the rings. The faction previously appeared in Halo Wars 2 and has not been seen in the main Halo series so far. The Banished are a mercenary faction that splintered off from the main Covenant force after a short rebellion. They are more ruthless and they sound pretty angry, and of course you can check out the entire tease on Twitter. If you think they sound menacing, you should listen to the Pug 343 used to record some of those alien noises in Halo Infinite, and indeed, they did use a family pet. This is something of an expectation that I think Microsoft is trying to meet ahead of next month's big reveal. Does it sound neat? Yes, sure, but at the end of the day, I'm ready for some gameplay. But for those that are hardcore Halo Infinite fans, you do get a bit of a taste of what you can expect from the full reveal when it hits in the middle of July. Of course, earlier this week, we see Phil Spencer and Aaron Greenberg talking about the upcoming event. It is currently in the midst of production, and it certainly sounds like it's going to be a much higher octane kind of event as compared to what we saw just a few weeks ago when Microsoft did kind of a work-from-home style setup to reveal games like Assassin's Creed Valhalla and a lot of other third-party titles coming to the Xbox Series X. And so if they do put on a show that is comparable to the show that PlayStation put on to reveal not only the design of the PlayStation 5 console, but many of the games coming to it, I think you could certainly be seeing a ramping up of the marketing team over there on Team Xbox. But I'm excited to see what they have in store, and of course, Halo Infinite still going to be a massive release for Xbox, but overall for Halo, it very well could be a return to form, and I know a lot of people are looking forward to seeing more about it. However, the Xbox Series S Lockhart appears in the latest Xbox SDK documents. A security researcher, TitleOS, offers another glimpse at Lockhart. The Xbox Series S, known by its codename of Lockhart, has appeared once again, this time in the June 2020 release notes for the Microsoft Game Development Kit. Security researcher on Twitter, known by TitleOS, has offered a glimpse at the relevant sections, which refer to Lockhart's profiling mode alongside an Anaconda profiling mode, which refers to the more powerful Xbox Series X. The profiles likely refer to graphics tiers developers can target for the different spec levels. Lockhart is expected to be around 4 teraflops, targeting 1080p, with Anaconda, the Xbox Series X, hitting 12 teraflops. We have verified the authenticity of the screenshots below, they say at Windows Central. And of course, there are your screenshots to prove that it is in fact included in the June 2020 development kit. But very little is known about Lockhart. It's expected to be a slimmed-down, less powerful, all-digital next-gen Xbox, supporting boosted CPU and SSD capabilities over the Xbox One X, while also being less powerful in the graphics department. It is expected to be the cheapest next-gen entry-level option, giving users the ability to jump ahead with new features afforded by NVMe SSD storage speeds, while also hitting a more affordable price point. The info from TitleOS is just lending further credence to the fact that this thing truly does exist, at least right now. Microsoft has canceled products at the last minute in the past, but conversations with our sources, they say at Windows Central, they know that some developers are already targeting the Lockhart profile with their games. So when will we see a reveal? Your guess is as good as ours, they write at Windows Central. So, will this actually become a legitimate part of the Microsoft strategy? It could, and I'll tell you why. Whenever you look at the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, they are targeting the 4K audience on the current generation of consoles. So, many people have not yet upgraded to a 4K display, which means that it would make sense to have a next generation console that is still catering to those that enjoy gaming and are comfortable gaming in 1080p. So, if you wanted to get a 120 FPS 1080p setup for your home gaming, I suppose, platform, whatever you want to call it, you could get an Xbox Lockhart, aka the Xbox Series S, which would definitely be sufficient for the needs that you have currently. And in the future, if you were to upgrade to the 4K television, you could get an Xbox Series X, or you could get a PlayStation 5. And so those are kind of the setup options that I see here from these pieces of information. Now, it is also worth mentioning that this is coming about at a very convenient time for Microsoft because, as we all know, during the big reveal just a couple of weeks back, the PlayStation 5 is getting two different SKUs, one with a disk drive, one without. And so it would make sense for Xbox to offer something similar. As far as a price point goes, if this is graphically less capable as compared to the Series X, then you can expect this to be a considerably cheaper console. In fact, I wouldn't even be surprised if this one came in at $300. And that would be a game changer for the entire market because a very affordable next-gen console is certainly going to be very enticing for the budget-minded gamer. And if it is a budget-minded gamer, they likely have not upgraded to a 4K TV yet, so it wouldn't really matter in the long run. But this could very well throw a wrench in the spokes of the next generation in terms of how we all expect it to play out, because according to the general population, it seems right now the sentiment is leaning more towards a favorable PlayStation point of view as compared to that of Xbox. But the big July event is certainly going to be changing a lot of perspectives around the world because I think this is going to be a very impressive show, and it certainly should be because it's pretty much going to be the break it or make it for the Xbox marketing team right off the bat. But moving on, Pokémon Unite is a MOBA-style game for Switch and mobile. During last week's Pokemon Presents, President and CEO of the Pokemon Company, I'm massacring that. Let's just say President and CEO of the Pokemon Company followed up the announcements of new Pokemon Snap, Pokemon Cafe Mix, and other announcements by teasing more big news today. That big project, Ishihara Tease, turned out to be Pokemon Unite. The game is created in partnership with Tencent Games and Teamy Studios. Pokemon Unite is a 5v5 team-based game with a focus on being highly accessible while also delivering depth. The game features MOBA-style gameplay with various moves and score locations. Player-controlled Pokemon can explore the lanes of the battlefield to capture wild Pokemon to score and evolve to improve their stats. Of course, you can also expect to clash with opposing players on the battlefield. I'm not gonna lie, this one was not well received. In fact, if you go to the YouTube page and you look at the like to dislike ratio, you have 68,000 likes and 142 dislikes. Not a big win for the Pokemon Company here. That is to say the least. However, I am seeing that it's kind of being received fairly well by those that aren't really hardcore community members, I guess is the best way to put it. But if you are interested in this style of gameplay, you can certainly check it out and dive in and see if it's something you might want to invest some time in. But it certainly is not going to be your standard kind of Pokemon experience if that's what you expected to get. And I feel like a lot of people were expecting that. Now, again, I have seen some people looking upon this pretty favorably. Personally, I don't care one way or another. But Pokemon Unite is officially coming, and it is a MOBA-style game for Nintendo Switch and mobile devices. Moving on, Assassin's Creed Valhalla creative director steps down, accused of sexual misconduct with fans. Assassin's Creed Valhalla creative director Ashraf Ismail has stepped down from his role at Ubisoft following allegations of an extramarital affair and sexual misconduct with fans. Quote, "I am stepping down from my beloved project to properly deal with the personal issues in my life," Ismail announced in a tweet. "The lives of my family and my own are shattered. I am deeply sorry to everyone hurt in this." His announcement comes days after accusations of affairs with younger fans. Ashraf Ismail is stepping down from the project to take a leave of absence, and Ubisoft rep confirmed to Polygon in an email. The development team is committed to delivering a great game in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This follows a recent outpouring of stories primarily from women who are speaking out about abuse and misconduct from other prominent figures in the gaming industry. Several other Ubisoft employees have recently been accused of sexual misconduct. "We are deeply concerned by these allegations," Ubisoft said to Gamasutra in response to accusations of recently publicized misconduct and assault from other employees. "We take any allegations of abuse or harassment very seriously, and we are looking closely into the allegations to determine next steps." Ismail was leading the development for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the next game in the series and the first one to release on the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. He previously served as game director for Assassin's Creed Origins. This is just one of many stories coming out of the gaming industry in the past week or so that reveal misconduct from very prominent gaming individuals within the industry. And you see it branching from Twitch, and then it kind of spread throughout the industry to Mixer and YouTube, and now you're getting into actual gaming companies. And it is a movement that is certainly needing to happen because although the gaming industry is fundamentally forward-focused and future-thinking, it is still rooted in a lot of systemic issues, and within those systemic issues comes a lot of abuse, a lot of sexual abuse, a lot of sexual misconduct, and in the end, we really want to have an industry that is welcoming and comfortable to everybody, regardless of sex, gender, ethnicity, whatever it might be. The goal is to have an open, welcoming industry, and that is difficult to have whenever you see so many dirty little secrets and lies getting swept under the rug, and you see so many people continuing to get away with this behavior. It is good to get it out in the open, to let people know what happened so that changes can be made, that seats can be moved, and that we can move forward as one unit that is collectively trying to create the best industry on Earth. And that's something that is going to be a long time coming. It's something that is going to be a very difficult challenge to overcome, but it's something that can be done if people continue to make their voices heard. And so Assassin's Creed Valhalla's creative director is stepping down in the midst of accusations that begin to fly and investigations begin to take place. But moving on, Facebook Gaming will not replace Mixer on the Xbox One dashboard. This is a follow-up to a story that we talked about earlier in the week, I believe it was Monday's episode, where Mixer is effectively being folded into Facebook Gaming. When Microsoft made a major push into streaming with Mixer, the platform holder integrated the streaming service into the Xbox One dashboard, as well as some of its first-party games like Forza Horizon 4. Now that Mixer is dead, Xbox One owners are wondering if Facebook Gaming will replace Mixer on their console dashboard, and the answer is simply no. If you are asking if the current Mixer integration in the dashboard is going to become Facebook Gaming, the answer is no, said Major Nelson when asked directly on Reddit. Head of Xbox Phil Spencer further reiterated that Microsoft wants to give players options, so it's not hard to rule out some sort of Facebook gaming integration in the future, although not on the same level as Mixer enjoys today. Indeed, Xbox One has always allowed players to stream to platforms other than Mixer, but Microsoft was pushing it hard, making Mixer the de facto service for Xbox streams. So, we'll see if there is integration with the Xbox Series X to stream to Facebook Gaming, and that would be a very big deal because it would be the first platform to allow streaming to Facebook Gaming. But if it does allow that kind of functionality, it's very important to not bake it directly into the experience the console is providing because it looks very pushy, in my opinion. If you're looking at the Xbox One dashboard, having Mixer there isn't very player focused because few people watch Mixer, as you can see from the shutting down of the platform. And so to be able to take that away and replace it with something that is much more utility friendly, much more needed, much more necessary, would certainly be a welcome change in my opinion. Or better yet, just remove it altogether and don't replace it with anything and simplify the dashboard even further than it already is. But Facebook Gaming is popping off, of course. Today I spent a lot of time watching King Gathalion, who has moved over to Mixer from Twitch and now moving from Mixer to Facebook Gaming. And so 1.5 million views is what I saw in his most recent stream, which is very impressive, and certainly something that does bode well for the Mixer streamers that are looking to grow on a brand new platform. And of course, the coming months will tell just how many people stick it out, switch to Facebook Gaming, and what kind of success they see. But speaking of Xbox, the Messenger, Observation, and more join Xbox Game Pass soon. Every month, many games join Xbox Game Pass on Xbox One and PC. However, some titles leave too. Today, the Xbox Game Pass Twitter account revealed the following titles are joining the service. The Messenger, Streets of Rogue, Nightcall, and Observation are coming to console, with Observation also coming to PC. Out of all of these, they say at Windows Central, they are very excited about the Messenger and Observation. Great games you should try out. A few days ago, we reported that a number of games are leaving Xbox Game Pass soon. Well, now we know what they are departing on June the 30th, and you can take a look at the games leaving Xbox Game Pass on Xbox One and PC. Battlefield, ooh, that sounds gross. I don't want to be any part of that fetish. Battlefleet Gothic Armada, Die for Valhalla, Metal Slug X, Metro Exodus Neon Chrome, Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, SteamWorld Dig 2, and The Flame and the Flood are all leaving PC, with Life is Strange 2, Metal Slug X, Metro Exodus Neon Chrome, Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, SteamWorld Dig 2, and The Flame and the Flood leaving console as well. Was there a better way to list off those titles? Probably. Metro Exodus and SteamWorld Dig 2 will be missed the most because they are really great experiences, but the rest are largely forgettable. So if you are looking to join Xbox Game Pass, that is what you can expect to see in the first chunk of the month, and of course those games are going to be added on. Looks like June the 30th, hypothetically, or maybe even July the 1st. Stay tuned to the official Xbox Game Pass Twitter for more information. But to round out today's show, do you want to make money? Probably. You might not be able to though, but hey, maybe you could. Sony is starting a PlayStation Bug Bounty program. You find bugs and you maybe get paid. Sony has launched a bug bounty program that anyone can participate in, and rewards for reporting critical PS4 vulnerabilities start at $50,000, Sony's Senior Director of Software Engineering Jeff Norton wrote on the PlayStation blog. While Sony had a bug bounty that was previously only available to private researchers, it is now partnering with HackerOne to open the program to the security research community, gamers, and anyone else. PlayStation engineers are particularly interested in reports on PlayStation 4 hardware, operating system, accessories, and the PlayStation Network, according to its bug bounty page on HackerOne. A report for a low priority issue on PlayStation 4 would start at $500, while a critical issue could net $50,000 or more. Reports for the PlayStation Network pay a little less. Low priority issues start at $100, while critical issues pay $3,000. Companies like Apple, Google, and Netflix have their own public bug bounties as well, so it is not surprising to see Sony launch something for the PlayStation brand. According to stats on HackerOne, several people have taken advantage of the program in the last 90 days. It is unclear how many of these figures are from the program, when the program went public. However, it says $173,900 in bounties have been paid, 102 reports have been submitted, 88 reports have been resolved, and 41 bug finders have been thanked. So if you are a hacker individual out there and you want to make some money, hey, fire up the PlayStation and see if you can find some vulnerabilities, because Sony will certainly appreciate it, especially as the PlayStation 4 gets a little bit long in the tooth and more people are paying more attention to the PlayStation 5 than the PlayStation 4. Sony still doesn't want that code cracked. But until tomorrow, you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and I will talk to you soon. Until then, peace.